Hi friends. Wow, that was weird. Hi friends, Christine here. Welcome to episode 16 of Quilting on Caffeine. So good news, bad news. Good news is that I'm back, I think 2 weeks after my last post, which is one of my goals this year, to be here more regularly, more consistently, and more frequently. So I did that. Bad news is it hasn't been long enough for me to produce much. So it's one of those weird situations. But I do have a few things to share with you today, so we're going to dive on in. First, it is February 1st, 2022, which is awesome. Not only is it a new month, it is Lunar New Year, so Happy New Year to those of you who celebrate Lunar New Year. We celebrate here in our house, Shawl, which is the Korean Lunar New Year. And I'll share a little bit more about that at the end of the episode. But right now we're just going to celebrate the fact that January is over. January, was not awesome here. January had way too many curveballs. So I am super happy to be putting that behind us. Moving on to a new month, new year if you celebrate. So happy. So we are going to start with some sewing today. I have not had coffee, and so that's funny that we're quilting on caffeine vlogging today, and I haven't had I had a cup, but not enough. So this might be more scattered than normal. So the last time we were here, I had a scrap bin out that was filled with little pieces like this to make windmill blocks for a scrap quilt. And I think I'd said then that that was one of the quilts I did want to finish, one of the scrap quilts that I wanted to finish. Mostly because I realized through the emptying of my scrap bin that I am not a scrap quilter. But that one was out of the, an exception to that rule, I guess we'll say. So on Saturday, we had a blizzard here in Rhode Island. We ended up with 24 inches of snow on the ground, possibly 25, but I only measured 24. And it was perfect. There was a travel ban, there were blizzard conditions outside. I sat inside and sewed all day. And I'm gonna pop in a little video of what I did. Not bad, right? So I started out Saturday morning with 12 blocks, and when I counted the next day, I think I was up to 72 blocks. So not too shabby. I don't know what my current count is, but I have 24 more blocks to go to have a 60 by 70-ish size quilt. I am doing the Jen Kingwell Bonnie Lass quilt from her, I believe it's her Quilty Love book. I don't have that in print, so unfortunately I can't show you the cover of that, but I will put the link to that down below. And I still have been chain piecing these. So I'm more excited than I thought I'd be to be finishing out. I just have these left. I'll need to cut a few more because I'm not going to get to the full 98 blocks that I need for that size with where I'm at. But I'm within striking distance, and I'll have an empty bin, which will feel amazing. So that's my big sewing news. And I also have plans to try a new batting when I quilt that, so that will be fun too. Fun or frustrating? I mean, one or the other, because that's how it rolls. So yes. So the other project that I worked on and finished was a quilt that you probably haven't seen in these parts since the summer. Actually, you definitely have not seen this since the summer, and I know that because I put it away. But I bound, so first of all, let's pop in. I'm going to run outside and take a video of the full quilt. So I'm going to pop that in here. Cute, right? I don't know what it is about this quilt, but I love it. I love it. I don't know if it's the pattern, the fabrics, how quickly it came together, the movement, the quilting. There is something, I think it's all of those that just coming together that hits the sweet spot for me. And it's so not my typical style, so surprising, but I bound it. Now, this quilt was bound in the car. For a variety of reasons. I'm going to just show you because I hand bound this. I like tried on this binding, so I am really happy with how the back looks because that is not normal for me, and I'm just really happy with how this binding looks with this quilt. So a few random thoughts. What I was saying, and I cut myself off, was that the bus is not working for my younger son right now. So he takes the bus to school, which works out fine, but the bus home was not a happy place. So I've been doing the pickup line, which is fine. It's what he needs. I'm actually okay with it, but I was struggling with that time because you have to get there so far in advance. I have to leave my house, I have to drive across town, and I have to like queue up. And if I don't queue up early, it takes forever to get through the line and to I hit all the traffic, like all the school traffic on the way back home. So it's better for me to sit and wait for half an hour to 45 minutes in the queue than to sit in traffic for the same amount of time. So it's like that time is lost. It's just how I want to lose it. So I was struggling. I was trying to read a book. I was trying to listen to podcasts. For whatever reason, that just wasn't working. I did knit for a couple of afternoons, but I was finding that where I was in my row or my round or my repeat was not lining up to when the line started moving, and that was just I mean, I put it on myself, but it was more stress. So then I realized that I could sit and I could bind, because you just stick the needle in and put it off onto the passenger seat when it's your turn to queue up. So this quilt was bound in the car. I had started on a boat, but I still had 2 sides to go when I picked this back up. So I finished those 2 sides. It was the perfect car pickup line activity. So I have another quilt that I'm going to square up and sew up the binding for and attach it. I would like to get better at machine binding, but for this size quilt, this is the perfect car pickup line thing. So I think I'll try to focus on my larger quilts, perfecting my machine binding maybe, because I don't want to sit with a twin quilt on my lap during pickup. But yeah, so this is done. So while I had said that I didn't accomplish much, I did accomplish a couple things in the sewing studio, which feels amazing, especially given the curveballs of last month. So that is that. Next up is knitting. I showed you guys this book the last time we were all here. And I think I'd even shared my plans to work on this shawl. It is a Stephen West pattern. Lots of my friends talk about how addicted they are when they're knitting a Stephen West shawl. Like they're like, I can't put it down. It's so addictive. It's so fun. And it's like, yeah, I get into projects too. I now understand. It is addicting to knit a Stephen West pattern. I'm already planning my next one out. There is something so fun about it. So here is where I'm at. So it's all DK. We have a hedgehog fibers here. We have a Malabrio Rios here and a Madeline Tosh here. And the little dotty stripes are Lamana, I think. So I have another repeat of the orange, and then I have a green stripe, and then the wavy edge to finish. So that is a fun project to have on my needles. I was addicted. I think I knit that in like 3 days time. And I did do other things, which is amazing. So that is all that I have on the knitting needles, which is like I have other projects in progress, but I haven't really picked anything up. So we've covered sewing and knitting. The only other thing I have to talk about is Lunar New Year. I mentioned it earlier. I'm hoping that my kids, when they come home from school, will go outside and take a picture. I'm not making them wear their hanboks, so I feel like they should give me a couple of nice smiling pictures together. I deserve a mom win. What can I say? I mean, how hard is it to put your little puffer coat on and smile for the camera? Not hard. But for dinner, we are going to use my new favorite cookbook. So I'm a big fan of Milk Street Cookbooks. I think Cookish has been my favorite go-to weeknight cookbook for several months at this point, several months. This was published before as Milk Street Fast and Slow. It was republished as the Instant Pot. And since you might have noticed in that list that I popped up on screen earlier, my oven is broken. My oven and my cooktop are currently non-functioning, so that means that I am relying heavily on the Instant Pot and heavily on the air fryer. And I'm not enjoying cooking this way. I do love Instant Pot meals. I don't love having to be forced to have Instant Pot meals every night. But tonight, I am super excited that one of our favorite meals, period, which is this, is in the Instant Pot book. So, you can see these are my meals for the week, flagged. We have this meal all the time, but I thought that since it is Solal, tonight would be a great time to have it again. A lot of times we have tuk menduguk, which is rice cake dumpling soup, but I have no idea how I can recreate that without the use of a stovetop. So we'll have that once I have an induction single burner coming at the end of the week, so maybe this weekend we'll have that as a belated celebration, and we'll just draw this New Year's out to erase all that has happened in January. So I think that's it. I feel like this was quick. It might have been a little rushed. I'm sorry if it was. I'm just trying to record this before my 10 o'clock meeting. And clearly I need to get some coffee, if for no other reason, to then calm the hyperactiveness that is my brain this morning. So that's it. I am hoping to share my short film with you guys later this week as well. So it's not your typical vlog, but it's what I did for my film assignment and it's kind of fun, so I figured why not share it here too. I think it's something we can all relate with, the scrapping. I will be back here soon. I hope to have some non-sewing projects to share. I hope to have a finished scrap quilt top and maybe something else. Thanks for joining me today, even if it was fast and mishmashy and scrappy. But I do appreciate you being here. I hope that you guys have a wonderful start to your February. Happy New Year if you celebrate Lunar New Year again. I hope that if you got weather this weekend, it wasn't horrific. I loved every second of it, so I hope you were at least able to find some enjoyment if you didn't love it as much as I did. And I hope that you get some crafting time in as well. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you again soon.